In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure the header, footer, and sidebar widgets for Move-In Ready. We're going to start with the top header left widget area, and by default it displays your social media links here that are pulled from your theme settings. But if you want to display something else instead, you can do that by going to Appearance Widgets and go to Top Header Left Widget area. Perhaps I want to display my name instead of the social media links. I can do that. Let's just put agent name and save. And if we go back to the front, you'll see now the agent name has replaced the social media links. But like I said, if you just want the social media links there by default, just leave that blank. The next area is the header right. Now the header right is just to the right of your site title. Perhaps I want to put my email and phone there, so I'm going to drag a text widget there. And I'm going to use the short codes. Refer to the short codes in the documentation or in the videos. Agent phone and agent email. And again, this is pulling from those theme settings. Let's save that. Now let's go back to the front, and you'll see there's now the agent phone, agent email there on the header right. Now let's go to the sidebar. Let's go to our blog page, and you'll see our sidebar is empty, and we want to put a search widget there. Now if you're using IDX Broker, you can just drag the IDX Broker quick search there. So we're going to go to our site that's got IDX Broker here and go to our default sidebar, and you'll see it's using the Equity IDX Quick Search. And when you activate Equity and IDX Broker, you have IDX Broker widgets you can use, and this is one of them, the Equity IDX Quick Search. You just drag that into your default sidebar, give it a title, select the city list you want to use for that search, what you want the button to say, select the vertical orientation, and check whether you want to have the link to the advanced search and the map search there. So the default sidebar with that IDX Broker quick search is on this site is here. So here's the IDX Broker quick search. If you're not using an IDX and you're using WP listings, we're going to use the WP listing search. We're going to drag this widget up to our sidebar here. Okay, and we're going to call this property search, and then just check the taxonomies we want to display in that search. We want locations, property types. We've also set up the taxonomy of bedrooms and bathrooms so we can search our listings that way, and what you want the button text to say. So I'm going to save that, and then on our site here that we're using WP listings on, we now have a search widget here for our WP listings with bedrooms and bathrooms and property types. So that's what we're using for our primary sidebar. Now we want to do the footer widgets, and the footer widgets are at the bottom. And again, in the customizer, you can set the number of widgets you want to display there. By default, it's got 3 widgets. We're going to use the default for this video, but you can change that to, if you just want one big widget or 2 widgets or 4 widgets, however you want to set that up. We're going to go to Footer Widget Area 1, and if you're using IDX Broker, you would use the Equity IDX Broker Showcase. So let's switch over to those widgets, to Footer 1. So it's using the Equity IDX Broker Property Showcase. We've got it set to display the featured properties. We want to show the image. The maximum number of listings to show, we want to set that for just 1 because we only want 1 there in the footer. and what the sort order is, whether we want highest to lowest or lowest to highest. So with IDX Broker, let's go over to this site and look at those footer widgets. Here's the IDX Broker featured properties here. Now if we want to do the same thing or something similar with our WP listings that doesn't have IDX, we can use the WP listings featured listings widget. And again, like before with our homepage widgets, you want to make sure under your listings menu, if you go to settings, let me open that up. You want to make sure under the listing settings to check the box to deregister the WP listings widget CSS. The reason is you want to let Equity handle those the CSS for those widgets. Okay, so we've got the WP listings featured listings. Image size, you want to select listings 560 by 380. You want to only display one listing there in the footer. And you can decide how you want to, what kind of listings you want to show. Maybe you only want to show golf properties. Golf property. So let's save this. Now let's go to the front of our site. There we go. So you can set up different taxonomies and different tags that you can use for WP listings where you can display them by different taxonomies here, like I did with the golf properties. Okay, so now for our second footer widget area, we're going to use a custom menu. Now if you're using IDX Broker, if you go to the menus video, you'll see how to set up those search links. So we're going to use the Equity custom menu there for the search listings and select that footer menu where we set up the IDX Broker links with the font awesome icons. And you'll see here the basic search, map search, and these go to the IDX Broker. If you're not using an IDX, you can still set up a menu using those font awesome icons to different pages on your site. You just use the Equity custom menu, drag it here. I'm going to select the footer menu that I created, call it search links. Now if I go back to the front of my site, you'll see there's our search links. But again, you can set this up for pages on your site if you're not using an IDX. Okay, and the last footer widget, footer 3 in our demo, we're just using a text widget to display some contact info. You can just use the short codes, agent address, agent phone, agent email. Let's call this contact us. And if we go back to the front of the site, refresh. Oops. Wrong widget area. Let's put it here, footer 3. And refresh. You'll see. Got my short code wrong here. Underscore. And refresh. And you'll see now you can have just using the short codes, you can put some contact information here. On our IDX site, we're actually using some HTML in this one to display a full address. So let's open up this text widget and you'll see we've got a name here with a HTML break tag, some phone numbers, and the actual address. You can use text, HTML, or you can use those short codes like we did on this example. So this is how you set up the header, footer, and sidebar widget areas on Move In Ready.